The servant. Bodhisattva was born as a rich man in Banaras. He got married at a right age and in due course of time had a son. On the same day of the birth of his son, a lady servant in his house also gave birth to a boy. Both boys grew up together. The rich boy went to the best of schools. The servant's son would follow the rich boy and gather the knowledge from the rich boy. Soon, both boys grew up to be knowledgeable and intellectual persons. The servant's son, whose name was Katahak, still remained a servant, despite being recognized as a scholar in charge of his master's store and accounts. He wanted a status that was in keeping with his learnings, so he thought of a plan to attain this status. A millionaire who was a great friend of Bodhisattva was living some miles away from Banaras. Katahak forged a letter in Bodhisattva's name to this millionaire. He wrote, "I have a son who is of marriageable age. I am sending him to you. I think we should become related through the marriage of our children. I desire that you marry your daughter to my son and keep him with you. I shall soon come and meet you." He put Bodhisattva's seal on this letter, took some money from his master's treasury, and left to the millionaire's place. He handed over the letter to the millionaire, who was overjoyed to read his friend's request. He married off his daughter to Katahak. Katahak got the status he had longed for. He had many servants to attend upon him. He got all the luxuries, feasts, dresses he had always been longing for. Yet he used to curse the people in the house. He would say these people do not know how to dress, how to eat. Meanwhile, Bodhisattva found that Katahak was missing in Banaras. So he sent his men in all directions to fetch for him. One of them went to the place where the millionaire was living and found that Katahak had married his daughter and was living with the millionaire as his son-in-law. Hearing this, Bodhisattva was deeply hurt and he started for the millionaire's place. Katahak was shaken with fear on hearing the news that Bodhisattva was coming. Escaping was impossible. He had no idea that Bodhisattva knew about his ill doings. Confessing was the only option. So Katahak told his servants in advance, "I respect my father immensely. When he sits at the table, I fan him and serve him respectfully." Next, Katahak told his father-in-law, "My father is coming. I want to go and receive him." So he went forth, met Bodhisattva and fell at his feet, confessed what all he had done, and begged for mercy. Bodhisattva promised not to betray him, and both of them arrived at the house of the millionaire. The millionaire was very glad to see the Bodhisattva. "According to your wish, sir, I have given my daughter in marriage to your son." Bodhisattva pretended to be gratified. He talked to Katahak as his own son. Then he met Katahak's wife alone and asked her, "Child, does my son make you happy?" The girl replied, "He is nice in all respects, except that he disapproves of everything that is set for his meal. I have tried to make all sorts of dishes of his choice, but he just doesn't seem to be pleased with anything." Bodhisattva advised her, "Next time he criticizes his food, remind him about Katahak, a fellow who is nobody in his own place but is treated like a lord where he is not known." This Katahak indulges in abuse instead of enjoying what he gets. After 2 days, Bodhisattva departed from there and Katahak heaved a sigh of relief. He thought he had nothing to fear of anything now. So Katahak begins to abuse even more now. Particularly at meals, he began to curse each and every dish. His wife remembered the advice of Bodhisattva and reminded her husband about Katahak. Of course, she never knew that Katahak was her own husband, since he had assumed another name. But the effect of this on Katahak was magical. He became a lamb and never raised his voice again in criticism. A person is the best judge to himself. Katahak was guilty conscious. He was aware of his wrong deeds and therefore was always in fear. Our inner voice tells us what is wrong and what is right. So always listen to the inner voice. There are smarter ways to deal with people who are cunning and fake. Such people can be made aware of their mistakes without directly insulting them through indirect methods used by Bodhisattva in this story. If you like the story and the message in my video, please do share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.